Hey everyone, welcome back to Navajo Tea Time. Um, this episode we are going to talk about spring cleaning,
Yay!
everyone's favorite activity in the spring.
We're gonna spring into Navajo tea time.
All right, so we're going to start this episode off with just a couple of fun quiz questions about spring.
It's about spring, yeah. So we are officially in spring season. The wind has ramped up, right? It rained. Has it rained over there yet for you?
Yeah, and thundered actually. We had
It
these
thundered?
thunderstorms.
Yeah. It thundered where I'm at too. So I'm like, yay, the animals are waking up.
Now we just need to wait for that one last snowstorm and then it's going to be hot
hmm
forever.
Gosh, it's gonna be so hot. Shoot.
I think last night I actually finally turned on the fan to go to sleep because I can't sleep. I don't function well in the heat.
Mm.
Like my body just wants to like crawl under a rock and just not be in the sun and do any work while it's hot out.
Okay, Kelsey, what does the term vernal mean?
Okay, I have no idea what the word vernal means.
Vernal means spring, like vernal equinox.
I've never heard it called that.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Anyways, what bird is often associated with spring in North America?
I didn't know this before, but apparently it's a robin.
I always assumed it was like a cardinal or like the cranes because they kind of fly
Oh yeah.
through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in the fall they go south and like, in the spring they go north. So I always see the cranes or like the condors. So I was like, oh yeah, it's spring. The birds are migrating through. I've never seen a robin
I've
here.
never seen a robin either, so I'm just like, what?
I see blue
Not where
jays,
I live.
cardinals, those
Yeah.
yellow-headed birds. Um,
Mm-hmm.
never seen a robin.
I know. I'm like, okay, whatever. Just kidding. All right, so okay, this is interesting. What is the name of the condition that is marked by an excessive fondness for flowers?
You told me this. I'm like, why is it a condition? How, it's
There's
like,
a
is that a
condition for that?
condition? Do I have to add one more to my list? You said it was like an anthrophile, right? Which I guess
Yeah,
I don't understand Latin, so I don't know if anthro is like flower or something, but I know phile is like love or of.
yeah, love of, yeah, it's antho, Anthopphile. So for those who want to look it up, there it is. One more condition to add to your list.
All right, okay, the Japanese welcome spring by organizing significant viewings of what flower?
So I know this because I read Memoirs of a Geisha. So it's cherry blossoms.
I know this because I watch a lot of anime.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, that book was so good. Yeah, I noticed that though. Yeah, like in anime, it's all like, right?
Cherry
All
blossoms.
orange. Yeah, all the cherry blossoms. I almost said orange blossoms. Did you ever go to look at the cherry blossoms in Flagstaff by Klein Library?
I never went to go look at them. They've always
Oh,
like, I go around Klein Library and they're there. I never go
I tolerated
specifically.
them.
I'm not like I'm gonna go look at the cherry blossoms at
I
the Klein
would.
Library today.
I'd be like taking pictures. I'd have my phone. I'm like taking selfies with them. They're so pretty.
I remember when I went to the Zithla Bay, they used to have those red cherry blossoms, or even like at the public library in Tuba, they used to have them out front.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd see them there, but I'd never be like, I'm gonna have a viewing today.
My friend Sarah and I, we like always couldn't wait for the cherry blossoms. So it was like a thing for us. So if you go back in our timelines on Instagram, just kidding. Okay, so next
Spring
question.
allergies are intensified because of what? Oh, I took your question.
You did, but it's pollen.
Yep,
Pollen
pollen.
everywhere.
Not just
Pollen
from
equals puffy
flowers,
eyes. Yeah.
pollen from like, have you ever seen like the wind blow and then like the pollen come off of like the different juniper berry trees?
And
Like
then like,
everything's just a little yellow and hazy, and like you have like that dust.
yeah, my eyes will be watering, my nose. Ew, just kidding. You're all a mess.
So I'm
Just-
different. I'm not really allergic to the pollen. I'm allergic to dust.
oh, there's plenty of that in spring too.
Yeah, when it's windy.
Oh, so windy. Oh my gosh. Like it's so windy it hurts because all that sand is getting, yeah, it's
Pelted at you.
like it's a great way to get exfoliated. I always say that's why the city girls are so smooth because we get that
They've just been
exfoliation.
sandblasted.
You get sandblasted in the spring and the fall.
I mean, here in Cameron, it's not so much as a fine sand, but like a little tiny gritty rocks
Ooh,
coming at you.
no. That does not sound fun. And your glasses all have those like little chips. In Roman mythology, she is known as the goddess of spring. Who is it?
I don't know the Roman one. I think the Greek one is Persephone.
Persephone. I wonder if that's right. I'm gonna Google it. Great answer. Roman, I was it pathology, mythology. It's Flora.
Oh, that makes sense. Flower, flora.
Yeah,
On the first day of spring in the northern hemisphere, the sun rises directly over what part of the globe?
the equator.
Yeah,
I know
equinox,
that.
equal.
I, yeah, I'm like, I know that. Persephone climate management. What the heck?
I like how it doesn't take you to the normal Persephone thing, but the one that's like the algorithm is like, oh, she usually looks up climate stuff.
I know. I'm just like, no. Okay, Persephone, Old Greek. There's all these weird people too. Like there's a lady riding on horseback, holding an American flag. Like what? And there's like people named Persephone on Instagram. Ugh, no.
As the goddess of spring, she is associated with growth, fertility, and love. And then after she married Hades, she became the goddess of reincarnation and ghosts.
Oh, cool.
So I was
I
right.
know that. All right.
I feel like I like mentally block out the Roman gods of anything because they're just the same as the Greeks.
Y'all
They just
copycat.
renamed everything. The
Mm-hmm.
definition of you can copy my homework but change it a bit.
Dang.
Anyway,
Well, I'm gonna piss off a lot of Romans. I'm so sure they're watching this though.
right? Need all those views.
So what do those Navajos know? They copy everything too. God.
You
Just
said it.
kidding. I'm kidding. That's just what other tribes say. In the spirit of gatherings of nations, eh?
We're
This
just
is the narrative.
gathering all the info.
Okay, next question. In
It's
the
your
UK, what do you call the vegetable that is known as scallions in the USA?
I call them green onions.
Yeah, yeah, they're spring onions. Have you ever had wild onions from out here on the res?
No, but my grandma talks about it all the time.
Yeah, I know. Like Hatathli here, are always like. So I guess if you're gonna have a hajonja in this time, they always ask you to bring like fresh or like a kinal da or something. They ask you to get those fresh spring foods, I guess, like wild onions and what else was it? I think it's wild celery, and there's another one. But they're like, go out and like forage. And I'm just like, really? Like, and I messed up one year and I just went to the grocery store and they're looking at me like, come on, really? I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking for. I'm not
I
from here.
forage. This is me foraging.
I
Oh,
forage that bashes. Give me a break.
that reminds me of like this past not this summer, but like not oh no. Whatever. We're having like a dance at my husband's village, and they were throwing out, like the food and everything, and I heard
Yeah.
people making comment. They're like, "I didn't know you can grow Kit Kats in the fields." Because they're throwing out candy and bubble gum. It was just cute. They had like the little hubba bubbas they were throwing out. So I
Hmm.
got a whole lot. I put them in my bag, and then Frankie was like, "Can I have the Hona gum?"
Cute. That's
So here's
cute.
your special Hona gum. Cherish it.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah, but then someone was like, "I didn't know you could grow these in your fields." Like I didn't know what the whole like I still don't know a lot of the like inner workings of like the dances and stuff, but I guess like the food that they're supposed to pass out is supposed to be like the harvest of
Hmm.
everything of, sharing it with the community.
Hmm.
And then someone's like, "Yeah, they went and foraged at Sam's Club."
It's funny. It is the way of the 2023rd or 2023 native.
Yeah, well, like when most of your income comes from actual money and you could just go buy food instead of growing it. It's just a change.
I think I might
Okay.
have said this once, but like I served a Hatathli Pizza Edge pizza once and he was not happy. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "There's wings too." He was not happy. He's like, "Most people, they like, do this or do that." And I'm just like, first of all, I just got off work. It's all I had time to do. Like, and it's funny. He just made fun of me, but it was funny. I was just like, "Ah, shoot." So yeah, but I
Get a
try not
crock
to
pot
spiral.
next time.
I know. I have one now, and I usually make stew.
You just make it in the morning, set it, and then it'll be perfect by the time you get home.
This is like the first, one of the first big ceremonies that I was actually like, I didn't have any help with. I was kind of like running the whole thing, and I was by myself because my mom hadn't showed up yet and our girls weren't available. It was like a whole thing. But anyways, do what you got to do.
Pizza Edge pizza is the best pizza, so at least it wasn't Little Caesars.
Oh no, dang. See, I wouldn't go. Yeah. Anyway, this is a good question. Was spring always referred to as spring? And if you don't know the answer, you can just read the answer because I didn't
Oh,
know
okay.
the answer.
The answer is no. Not until the 16th century, the first season of the month was Lent, which I guess makes sense for like religious reasons. Do
Yeah,
you know what spring is in Navajo?
like the name of it?
Mhm.
No. Do you?
Let me just get my big book out.
Oh,
My
nice.
brother got this for me for Christmas a couple years ago.
Cool.
Um, I don't know how to do textbooks without a lesson plan though, so I'm just looking at like
Mm.
questions. I have a feeling it's like Don, Da, or Don.
Hmm.
Like D double A
The nasal
nasal.
tongue?
Yeah.
Hmm. Don.
Or Daan.
Don.
Don.
And then the month of May is so, right?
Yeah. So
All right, that's your Navajo words of the day.
what is another term for the spring equinox? The
Vernal
vernal
equinox.
helps if you know what vernal means.
My cousin Vernal A. Which season follows spring?
Second winter. No, fourth winter.
Okay, which you probably know this. Which ancient building was constructed facing the direction where the sun rises on the first day of spring?
I only know it because I can see it. I don't
Uh-huh.
know. It's like the Great Sphinx.
Yeah.
I didn't know it specifically faced the equinox. I know
Do,
there's a couple of other things. I think
yeah.
in Wapaki, there's a structure that faces the
Mhm.
equinox, and then Stonehenge has a thing that faces the equinox.
And then Hogans do. And I learned just this past week that the NHC building at Diné College, the Ned Hatathli Center, it's a 6-story Hogan. It's the tallest building on the Navajo Nation. It is perfectly aligned so that the on the first day of spring during the vernal equinox, the light will shine directly in through the east and it'll hit the wall where the fireplace would normally be. And initially, like when it was built, it actually was set up like a traditional ceremonial hogan on that floor so that there was a fireplace, and that's where the hatapi would sit. But now it still looks like a hogan inside on that floor. But when you open up those big doors, it's a weaving space now. So that's where a lot of the weaving classes are held. It's really beautiful. But yeah, I didn't know that. And then the beams, they're aligned with where the sun rises in the winter and then where it rises in the summer. So it's really cool. Like it's like beautiful. It's beautifully constructed. It's like using those old school ancient dene techniques. So I thought that was cool though.
Okay. The season
Okay.
of spring ends on what day?
Ugh, I don't even know this.
When is the
But
summer solstice?
I don't know. When do you dance in the forest, Kelsey?
I don't dance in the forest. We have a bonfire though. Uh,
Mm.
it's June 22nd is the summer solstice, so I guess the season would be. For me, the season of spring ends when the house is at 85 degrees in the morning.
Mm. When you start talking like that, bonfires and houses, I think I remember that scene in Sleeping Beauty when Maleficent has all of like that big bonfire and all her goblins are dancing.
Yeah, that's me. No, just toast marshmallows.
Okay, what does the word equinox mean?
Equal parts, day and night.
Mm-hmm. According to the quiz, it says equal night.
I guess Nox night.
Nox night, yeah.
I'm not that good at Latin, like I said. I don't know who is, but
Got the concept right though.
okay. What happens to the day and night during the vernal equinox?
Oh,
It's
you
the
were
same
just talking
question.
about this. I know it's all repetitive. Day and night are of equal duration. During spring, why is the day longer than the night?
Because the earth tilts, which makes the sun last longer.
Hmm. When you were little, did you think that the poles were straight? Like, did you know that it was tilted?
I
I
didn't
mean,
think about it when I was little. I
I used
didn't.
to think it was like a top, and then I learned that it was tilted, and I was like, oh, well, that explains everything.
I mean, there's a lot of things I didn't question, like why
Hmm.
the Earth spun or why the sun came up at night and went down. I was like, that's just the way it is.
Hmm.
I didn't question those things when I was little. As long as it kept spinning, it didn't matter to me.
Well, I'm sure that's the experience of a lot of people because I know some of this stuff is just like not, I don't know, maybe the most important. I have no idea. But anyways, I'm going to jump ahead a few questions since some of these are all about, yeah, they're kind of repetitive. Is it okay, true or false? Tornadoes are more prevalent in the spring.
I think true, because that's like the rainy season, right? The
Yeah.
stormy season.
I thought it was the fall though, but yeah, so I learned something new.
It's
That's
when the
cool.
cold air and the hot air meet, and
Mm-hmm.
then thunderstorms. I knew that too because like thunderstorms are indicative of tornadoes because
Mm-hmm.
that's also how thunderstorms are created, the hot and the cold air. And then also you only get hailstones from thunderstorms.
Mm. It hailed here when it was thundering, and my son is like, "Why is it thundering?" He gets so scared when it thunders, and I'm like, "Calm down, it's all good."
My
But
mom used to just like have the Weather Channel on repeat
mhm.
when we were doing chores. I'd have all this random weather knowledge. in my- I can even identify what clouds could turn into hailstorms.
Nice, that's cool. I've started reading the moon lately. I was coming back from Farmington the other night, and I saw that the moon was I had like a bright sliver like this, and I was told that when the moon is like that, it indicates like it's holding moisture. They say it's like a basket that's holding moisture. So if you see the moon like that, it means it's either, if it's in the cold season, it's going to snow really heavy. But if it's in the spring, I guess, or summer, it's going to rain. And then it was true.
Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
Because there's water particles in the sky that you're seeing through the moon light, and it's making it fuzzy and glowy. The same thing
Really?
if like you see a rainbow around the moon or a rainbow around the sun. It's just there's so
Mhm.
much moisture and water particles in the air that this just you can see it through the sunlight.
Is that why they say like if in the winter time, like when the moon is like this and there's like a ring around it, it's going to be really cold? Is it because of the moisture in the air that makes it colder?
It might make it colder because of the rain
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
or the snow.
Interesting. Because I was told that like if you see the moon and it has a ring around it, it means it's going to be super, super cold soon. So you have to like make sure that you like, I guess, just be ready for it.
Yeah, the
Like
moisture could cool the atmosphere.
put sweaters on your dogs, eh?
Bring them inside at least.
Yes. Okay, let's do one last question and
Okay,
then we can end
let's
it and
see.
go to the next topic. Oh,
Okay, according to legend, if a groundhog does not see his shadow when he emerges from his hole on Groundhog Day, spring
mhm.
will arrive.
In 6 weeks,
No,
right?
it'll arrive early.
Oh, arrive early? I thought it was six more. Okay.
If it sees its shadow, it gets
Mm-hmm.
technically, I guess, I don't want to say technically, but it gets scared of its shadow and hides and sleeps for 6 more weeks. If it
Mm,
doesn't see its shadow, then it's like, I'm awake, spring is here.
got it. Cool. Well, I hope people are enjoying this and learning stuff. Where's the beach?
You should come up with a quiz that's more Navajo based
I
or
know,
Northern
we should.
Arizona. Because
That'd be
I've never
cool.
seen a robin. I've seen cardinals in the winter and blue jays, like I said, but I've never seen a robin.
Mhm. Yeah, what does it mean if your sheep runs clockwise?
I don't know. That sounds just as crazy of like those people who like they use the animal guts and look at them for like
Ew, yeah, the trails
yeah.
looking at the future. Okay, we're going dark. Let's
I don't know why, but it just felt like that kind of like wives' tale. Cleaning, spring cleaning, is it like nature versus nurture? Kind of like having a parent who showed you how to clean or told you how to clean
hmm
versus like no one ever taught me, so I
hmm
don't do it. Or like, so I guess we'll go in with the questions like, are you a clean person? Like, is your house clean and everything like that?
I think I'm tidy. I don't think I'm clean. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I've been to clean homes and they're you could eat off the floor. You know what I mean? Like it's super clean. You can tell there's like no crumbs or there's no like hair on the floor or crumbs on the floor. You can tell they vacuumed, everything is wiped. There's no dust or lint on the shelves or the books or the mirrors. And being tidy means like everything has its place, right? So that I'm tidy. Like once or twice a month, I'm clean.
For me, I'm not even tidy. Like, I know where everything is and
hmm
it's on the floor. But and like I know I'm a lazy person. And so for me it's like I said, like in the last couple of episodes, is like when I clean, it's a nice deep clean of the whole house or the whole
hmm
room where everything gets
hmm
wiped down and vacuumed and put away. But I can't do
hmm
that all the time. And
hmm
so that's just not me.
Yeah, I think the things that I keep on top of are the things that make me comfortable. Like I love having clean sheets, clean bedding. I love having clean towels. Um, I like taking a shower in a tub that's, clean. I like to wipe down the sink, before I do dishes and then after I do dishes. Um, I like to have the stove top clean and not have everything crusted and burnt onto it. But sometimes it gets like that, especially if it's like a long week. But deep cleaning, I guess, is something that I don't have time to do. And I usually, like, before the pandemic, I would hire someone to come in and they would like clean the blinds and the baseboards and the floors and the walls and, everything, like dust everything. But I think it's nurture, because my aunts and my mom, on my mom's side, like everyone in my family, it seems like all the women in my family, they're super clean. Like we every day, not every day, but like, yeah, like every day there was like a routine, at the end of the day, like at the beginning of the day, you make your bed. At the end of the day, you're like either doing laundry, putting away dishes, doing the dishes. Like my mom does not like it when dishes are dirty at the end of the day. They have to be done, because when you wake up, she doesn't want to see dirty dishes. My aunts, I remember, like, there was always a cleaning day. So on Saturday, that was cleaning day. Before you do anything, before you go shopping, before you go to town, before you take your shower, you're going to clean the whole house. And this is the floors, the counters, this is dusting, this is, everything gets clean. And you do clean the bathrooms. And then once the house is clean, then you can go out, and that was just the norm. And my mom was like that too. We would have these like cleaning days where it was like, you do the kitchen, you do the bathrooms, you do the bedrooms, so it was all divvied up, and then we would all do our tasks. And so I think that's nurture. I think like you're taught how to do that. And so I do that too with my family, but I don't think I'm as rigid as they were, where it has to be perfect. Like my dad would do the white glove test, and my aunts would get pissed off if it wasn't done right. Or my mom would get really upset if we missed something, and I'm not like that. I'm a little more relaxed because I don't know. I just remember how much stress it caused me as a child. And I don't want to do that to my kids, but I still have expectations for them. Like I have a whiteboard in our house in the kitchen, and I write the kids' chores every day. And I'm like, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and they have to get done before they can do whatever they want to do. Like if they want to go online and play video games, if they want to go out, those things have to get done first. And they know it. And so we don't have this back and forth because it's just been a routine. So it was taught to them. So now they know, So it's just like, it's easy.
I
Mm-hmm.
think like with my mom, because it was just my mom growing up, she told us what we were supposed to do, but never showed us what we were supposed to do.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
she would always say, "Oh yeah, when you're like cleaning or whatever, you get up during the commercial break and you clean something down." I'm like, "You never did that." She's like, "Oh, my mom did it. I just thought I taught it to you guys." I'm like, "Nope, you never taught us how to clean." I think
Mm-hmm.
for me, every time I saw my mom actually cleaning
Mm-hmm.
was just before company was supposed to show up.
Yeah.
And
That's
so it was like a mad scram to just wipe everything down and clean it so it's presentable for company. And that was the only time I actually witnessed cleaning get done. So that's kind of the only time I really get my cleaning done, because that's just like that's when you clean before people show up. So for me, it's been really hard trying to create a cleaning routine in my house of like, okay, I know I need to vacuum at least 3 times a week. I
mm-hmm.
know I need to wipe down the surfaces of like, desks and tables and everything, but it's hard to just put it into my routine because
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't ever, this was like, it's not natural to me to like stop and clean things.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think like the only things that get cleaned regularly in my house are the kitchen and the bathrooms. And sometimes the floors get too dirty, and then I'm like, okay, everyone, we need to all come together to make this happen. Or like it gets like dusty on our bookshelves, and I know but I don't want to take all the books down. We have so many, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to, and so I have to tell the kids to do it because I'm just like, yeah, it's just like this. I guess I don't think it's a laziness. I think it's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm not on top of it as on top of it as I probably should be. But yeah, I think like my mom did teach me how to clean though. Like she took the time to show me how to dust, how to, when you're cleaning glass, to get all the streaks out, what to use, what not to use, what chemicals do what, which ones never to use, because that's something related to like cleaning an oven, right? You don't want to put oven cleaner on the counters, or you don't want to put Drano on a wooden table. You know what I mean? Like, because it'll eat it, you know? So you have to kind of be careful, know what does what. Like, don't touch that. This is what you use. And then when it came to like, I remember her teaching me how to mop. She was like, you're gonna mop, and I didn't want to. And she's like, you're gonna do it. So she showed me how to like use hot water, you know, how to use pine sol, how much to use. And then she showed me how to hold the mop, and like how to sweep first, but then how to hold the mop. And she had me, there was like, we had like, I think it's a vinyl floors, and they had rectangles on them. And she was like, go like section by section, you know, so you're going to do these 4 rectangles, and you're going to do the, you know, so she showed me how to do it, like the method of cleaning. And she showed me how to always go top to bottom. You know, you're not going to do the floor first, and then you're going to do the table and the counters, because that's dumb, because then all the stuff that's
Stuff comes down.
it's going to get on the floor. So the method of it, she taught me, you know, this is how you do it. And then she would make it fun by like turning up the music really loud. And she's the kind of mom that would like sing and clean, you know what I mean? So it was like, yeah. And then for me and my kids, I do speed cleaning with them, where I set a timer on my phone. I'm like, okay, we got 15 minutes. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Let's go, you know, and then we get it done. And then guess what? In 15 minutes, the house is so much cleaner than it was before. And I like to play music too, like when I'm cooking, or we're going to do deep cleaning, like the floors and stuff. And they like it, you know, so it's not as boring as it probably could be. But yeah.
I think I learned most of my cleaning from the dorms,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. It was just you clean your room and the bathroom, and then you do your one chore that you're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
do. But as soon as I was out of the dorm, I was done with that. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't tell me I can't go downtown on a Tuesday if I hadn't thrown the trash out. You know?
Yes. I know I think the women in my family are very like there's 2 teachings in the family. One of them came from my Che, where it's like that Navajo teaching of like you need to always keep the house clean, so that when the holy people come in the morning and they see your space, they see that you care for what you have, and you're appreciative of the blessings that have come to you, and you're making way for more blessings to come in. And he was like, if they come to your house and they see it all messy, they're just going to be like, you know, she doesn't care. And they're just going to go on. You know what I mean? So when you ask for things, you have to show the holy people that you're appreciative, you know, that you care, and that you value these things that you have. And so that was his teaching. So even though they had a dirt floor in the Hogan, he would sweep it every morning. You know what I mean? They would keep things neat and tidy and clean. And that was what my mom grew up with, that teaching. And then they went to boarding school and placement too, so they learned the structure of things. But there's another teaching that comes with the church, where the wife is in charge of the home, and it's her duty to keep that home clean and presentable. Because the way they taught me is like something I've always rejected, but I think it's got its place, where they were like, you know, if you don't know how to keep a home, and you get to the point where you're going to have a husband, he's going to be very disappointed in you if you can't keep that home, because that's your duty. You know what I mean? And I never liked that. I was just like, oh, I don't like that. But that was what they would say, you know, like you have to be like A, B, or C. You have to take care of your appearance, you have to take care of your home, and you have to take care of your children. You know, you can't let yourself get, like, my mom used to get after me about my posture. She was always like, you need to wash your face, you need to take your makeup off, you need to keep your hair nice and shiny and healthy, you need to exercise, you can't be walking around with your belly hanging over your belt. You know what I mean? Like, you need to like take care of yourself, and you need to walk straight, and you need to put your shoulders back and push your boobs out. You know what I mean? And I'm like, ew. But she was really strict on that. She was like, you need to be presentable as a woman. You know, you can't just let yourself go. And it was like, it was weird, you know, kind of growing up like that, where you're expected to present yourself a certain way, and you're expected to keep your home a certain way, and you're expected to treat the men in your life a certain way. And I really pushed back on that. And I think that's why I intentionally don't keep my house the way all the other women in my life do. Like honestly, their houses are so nice. Like they're so nice and they're so clean. And I'm sure their husbands are very happy. But I'm just like, I don't know. I just didn't like it. And so I kind of rebelled against it. But I still do. I don't know. I still, some of those things got ingrained. You know what I mean? And so like I do kind of like, it's always kind of there. Like you hear those voices, sometimes like, you're getting a little chubby, you better go running, you know what I mean? Or don't eat that because it's gonna, make you fat, and it's like crazy because like you're taught this from a very young age, as a little girl. Like I was taught these things as a little girl, growing up to be a young lady, growing up to be a woman. There are very strict rules of how a woman is supposed to carry herself and be. And there were instructions. It wasn't just being told, there was also instructions that were included in all of that. So yeah, it's like, and then you end up with someone like me where there's all these different, things just there. And then you get to the point where you have to pick and choose, and that's what I've done. I've been very deliberate about what I pick and choose and what I apply to my life. And then also what I pass on to my daughter. That's the challenge. How do you pass on things that are not going to be toxic? Or how do you pass on values to her that are going to be valid values that are going to contribute to her health and happiness, but not perpetuate, some of these, like especially the patriarchal ideology. I have to be very careful about that. And just because I know.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to break just like teachings that have been like passed down and ingrained into you since you were a child. For me, like growing up, my mom was a single mother, with a career job and everything. And so my grandma moved in with us when my two younger siblings were born.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like we woke up and my grandma did all the housework. I woke up and breakfast was made. I came home from like practice or something and dinner was done because my grandma did it, not because my mom did it.
Mm.
And so like sometimes when my mom comments, she's like, "Well, didn't I teach you how to do this?" I'm like, "No, I remember grandma getting it done, but I don't know how or what happened in the times of it getting done." So it's kind of that weird disconnect of like I need to figure out how to clean a house and everything, but I also know I hate doing dishes. So my husband has taken on the role of like, yeah, I'll do the dishes for you
Mm-hmm.
just because I really, really hate it. Um, and for me, I'm allergic to dust. So like the act of cleaning, my
Yeah.
hands get hives and I
Yeah.
get sneezy and it's like and you'd think, oh, that just means you want to clean more. It's like, no, I want to do it far and in between because even unloading the vacuum, my
Mm-hmm.
hands get hives and I get sneezy and I'm just like it's
Mm-hmm.
such a like an inversion of like where you want to not be in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of with me with the cleaning too is like I don't want to be in pain so I'm not going to clean it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't disturb the dust it doesn't disturb you.
Yeah, I'm living Hojon in my life. This is what Hojon looks like here.
And then also like I guess with like the whole spring cleaning concept of like I like decluttering the stuff of like I don't use it anymore. It's starting to pile
Yeah.
up and pack up on me. So that's something we do like every once in a while, kind of seasonally, is like we go through the clothes of like,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't worn this all spring at all, so I'm just gonna donate it.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, oh, this is too cold to wear in the winter, so I'll just put it away to my spring clothes. And I think that's one thing my mom really taught me was like winter clothes and summer clothes and
Oh
spring
yeah.
clothes. And it's really helped me like get rid of some clothes like, oh, it's so pretty, but I never wear it ever. So I'll just get rid of it. And then going through my daughter's clothes the same way. And my husband's kind of catching on too. He's like, oh, I don't have to leave all my shirts out all year round. I can put some of them away.
And then you get to meet them later in the year, and it's like, oh, hey, there you are. I missed you.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we are too right now. And then like also I'm in my mom's house.
Mm.
So it's all her stuff that we kind of shoved in a corner of the house. And we need to go through it probably with her or just put it in a nice box and put it in the shed because we definitely
Mhm.
need to make room for another person.
Mhm. Oh
And
yeah.
that's always another like for me that's another block of like maintaining this house I'm in right now is it's not mine and I'm limited on what I can change or I feel like I don't want to put the money into a
Mm-hmm.
house that I'm not going to be able to keep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I
those all those like mental barriers, like, we'll just clean the house. It's like, it's not my house, but
mean. I think we all find a way, to make sure that we're living in a place that we're comfortable with and that's healthy for our families, and it's not ever going to be like your neighbor. But I think as I do think that as women, the home is our universe. I believe that. Like that's like a Navajo concept, that the home is your universe and you rule there. You have authority there. And I really step into that leadership position. I'm like, yeah, so it is how I choose it to be. And sometimes you have to let that be known to other women who come into your home. But if my mom shows up and she's like, Adrian, do this, I'll do it just because it's my mom. She does, but most of the time she just does it herself. And I'm like, hey, have the kids do it. And she ends up just like, she always cleans my house when she comes to stay with the kids. And I come back and it's like, really nice. Like it smells good and everything is clean and scrubbed. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could live with her again. Like,
like,
I'll pay for the bills. Can you just clean the house?
I know I was having a conversation with my little sister, and she's like, "How did mom keep everything all together?" Or blah blah blah. When we were in school and she was working, like, because grandma was there and did everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my grandma made breakfast and dinner. She did the laundry for us, and that's why some of my mom's clothes shrunk. But so
Yeah,
that
my
was like a
mom.
big help for us. Was like my grandma was around to help babysit and take care of us while my mom was working.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's like the mindset of like, I'm working, I need someone else, and right now I have Gordon to help carry that. But like, it's also like with him too. He's like, this isn't our house, this isn't our home. It's like renting a place, but a little less because it's also all of her stuff in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only so much room for us to grow and adapt and change. And we kind of feel like stuck in this bubble. And so it's
Mm,
just like we're staying here until we can get our own home site and our own house built. But it's like sometimes it's like, well, do we just make the best of it and create our own space? Or
mm-hmm.
like, do we just kind of like live on the side of the couch, and it's that constant flip-flop that we have. And that's why I feel like our house is kind of a mess sometimes because we have bookshelves full of books, but they're all my mom's books. I don't even know what's there. I have to go through them and see what we actually want to read with the little ones or not. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's a whole bedroom just piled of stuff because we turned her bedroom into our office. So we just took
Mm,
all her stuff and put it in a pile, like nice stacks and nice piles, but it's also taking up a whole room.
mm-hmm.
And it's just trying to figure out, okay, now we need that room open.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. You're gonna have to invest in a storage unit, huh?
I don't know. We have a couple of sheds
Mm-hmm.
built on the area that if we put them in nicer boxes where
Mm-hmm.
rain and rodents won't get in,
Mm-hmm.
we can just throw them in there and when she moves back, she can deal with it. But we
Yeah,
definitely
'cause
need to like just get that room cleaned out.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. That way you guys will be more comfortable. And yeah, and then when you leave, yeah, at least you're gonna know what's yours and what's hers because it'll be separate and
Yeah.
that'll be easier. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to spring cleaning because I want to get rid of a bunch of old stuff too. And I'm really excited to separate everything and kind of like get rid of we did take a bunch of stuff to the dump. There's like they bring one of those, when they do like at construction sites, they bring one of those big huge dumpsters.
Hmm.
And they would usually pull them into the neighborhood. So people who are moving out or people that are doing spring cleaning, they could put stuff in there. But they're not doing it this year. They're asking us to take it over to maintenance. So we hauled like 3 cars full of junk that was just piling up. Because I don't like to keep junk inside. If I know we're done with it, I'll move it outside. But we got this kind of like pile going, and I was like, shoot, we need to get rid of some of this stuff. So yeah, but I
Yeah.
haven't actually assigned, yeah, everyone like, okay, we're gonna do spring cleaning. So I'm looking forward to it though, because it always feels good when you get rid of old stuff.
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure. Like it's nice to just like go through everything and like put in piles and like, okay, what are your thoughts of like yard sales versus donation?
I do both. I usually try to do a yard sale first to make a little bit of money on it, but then if it doesn't, there's still stuff left over, I just donate it.
I always just donate it because like I live in Cameron. I don't want to take it all the way to Tuba and set up and sit out
Mhm.
there all day.
I used to do that for fun with my friends. We'd be
It's
like,
not
"Yeah, let's yard
fun
sale
for
today."
me.
Yeah, like we'd go to the flea market and set up and just hand off all of our like kids' clothes that were too small and whatever we wanted to get rid of. And then in Flagstaff, my friend Sarah, she lives in this neighborhood where all you got to do is put up a sign and people will show up. And she had like a 2-car garage and she would, put it up and we'd set up like she has all these shelves and tables and everything. So we would set it all up, put up a canopy, and then people would come through all day.
Yeah, it's a
And
lot easier to do yard sales when you live in a community, like a
mm-hmm,
neighborhood community, not like
mm-hmm.
the scattered housing here.
I know. I
Also, I
think
just
like
really don't like selling. Like I could
mm,
probably make a good chunk of money if I just went to the roadside and sold jewelry or my husband's prints.
yeah.
I just hate sitting out there and talking to strangers, trying to convince them to
Mhm.
buy.
Well, what my aunt does is she and my cousin, they take everything out to like where the store is because they live in a rural community. So they go to the store because the store is there and the post office is there. So people are going to be coming through all day and they set up a canopy and like a few tables and they just make everything $1 and they get rid of everything and they make a whole like, a bunch of money.
A bunch
So
of dollars.
yeah, they get a bunch of dollars because people start buying multiple things, and they get rid of everything. And then if there is anything left over, then they just donate it to the church. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing.
I just do the lazy thing and donate it. But someone else can use it at like Goodwill or Savers.
Yeah. I love people like you because I always find good stuff that's donated.
I'm like, yeah, because like sometimes I'll buy a dress or something that like I'm like, oh, this would be cute, but then I never wear it ever
Mhm.
because I don't go anywhere, and I'll just donate it, I guess. Or like I won't donate like kids' clothes that are like really, really trashy and
Oh
like
yeah, I
bad and
don't.
full of holes. Like I always tell my
Yeah.
husband, if it has a hole, throw it away. If it has
Yeah.
a stain, probably throw it like an oil stain from
Mm-hmm.
like cooking oil or grease oil. It's like just throw it away because you can't clean it, and you don't want to
Yeah.
give away bad, trashy clothes.
Yeah. I never sell underwear either. Like
That's one thing
socks,
too.
underwear, bras. I'm just like, sorry, but
It's like it's
that's
all
going in
full of
the
your
garbage.
sweat and your
Ew, I
DNA.
know. I know. I'm like, no, you don't want that. My cheese is on it. Ew.
All right, I think this episode is long enough.
I know.
Was there any
On that
points we
note,
didn't cover?
you're all sick, Adrian.
No, I get like I was like you don't buy used underwear, don't sell used underwear. I was always like affirmative of like never buying a used mattress. So much
Yeah.
so that I got like a little credit card to buy it slowly. But like I'm like, don't
Mm-hmm.
buy a used mattress.
Ever. Yeah,
Babies pee
ever.
on it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Cats pee on it. You don't know what goes on in people's houses.
Mm-hmm. In their beds. Ew.
Alrighty. I
All
guess
right.
like do we have any like tips on how to do spring cleaning? Like any concise information?
Let's see. Real quick, what are your favorite cleaning products?
My favorite cleaning products?
Yeah.
My mom used to use like the green spray or
Simple
something
Green?
like that. Huh?
Is it Simple Green?
I think yeah, simple green.
Oh
But I
my God,
think
Mike's obsessed with that.
my mom like uses it on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um Yeah, I've been trying cause like I said, I'm in my mom's house. So I went
Mm-hmm.
through underneath the sink and we have like a ton of cleaning supplies of like different brands, different types, different things. So I went and organized them. I'm like, okay, we just need to go through these cleaning supplies until we get to the end. And then I want to use like a more natural, less harsh
Mm-hmm.
type. I think my favorite and most used is like the Clorox wipes.
Oh yeah.
Because you just wipe everything down and disinfect it at the same time. It gets
Well
dust
done.
really well, and then it kills whatever I'm allergic to in the dust while I have it in my hand. Because usually after cleaning with all the dust, I just get hand sanitizer and just like soak my hands
Really?
in it
You
to
should just
kill.
get gloves. Get cleaning gloves and a
I
mask.
I hate gloves. Like like gardening and everything. People have like garden gloves and everything. Like I
Mhm.
can't. feel it. I can't connect to it. I don't know. There's a
Ew.
barrier. I need to like when you're cleaning dishes or something and you can feel like the dirt, you still need to clean it. Or like when you're wiping down a
Mm.
surface, you're like, oh no, this is still a little bumpy. I need to clean it. I can't
Oh,
feel that with gloves. Like even
yeah.
like when I'm out in the garden or doing work, they're like, oh, you should wear gloves for that. And I'm like, but I can't work with gloves on because I don't know.
Well, that's the solution to the problem though. Yeah, I think okay, so my favorite cleaning products are I really like Clorox kitchen cleaner. That is so good on like, surfaces. I really like Windex with vinegar. That one's really good for, windows and mirrors. Um, I always use Pine Sol, but I every now and then will use that other one that you get at the dollar store. What's it called?
Fabuloso?
Yeah, Fabuloso, the purple one. I get that. And then oh yeah, so I used to always buy Tide Pods, and then we ran out and you can't get Tide Pods, anywhere close by. So I went to the gas station and they had this little bag of like detergent powders, like really cheap, like $2.99, like a whole bag. And so I got that. I think it's called Roma, and I used it and it's really good. And I use that with dryer sheets and it gets my clothes so clean. It's super cheap. And so I went to Walmart and I got like a huge bag. It's giant and it's $10. And it's like I'm saving so much money on it because it does such a good job, even though it's cheap. And then the dryer sheets make all the like clothes smell good. So it's like nice. But anyways,
Yeah, I have like reusable dryer sheets. They're kind of like weird little balls that you just
oh,
throw
I
in
have one of
there.
those. It doesn't even work for
I
me.
have four.
Really? I
Three
had one. I'm just like, this thing doesn't work. And
well, like like we don't use the dryer sheets to like stop it from smelling or whatever. It's to
Mhm.
stop the static cling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have like
Oh,
a couple, and then because it's a giant cotton ball, it also reduces the time it needs to be in the dryer because it kind of helps absorb some of that
oh,
liquid.
yeah.
So yeah, we have like three of them that we just leave in the dryer. And it just
Oh,
goes
see,
with the
I tried that and it's like a big ball. I got it at this like boutique in Durango.
uh-huh.
Um, we're downtown and there's this like really cute place and you can they're like put essential oils on it and it'll make everything smell good. And I did, and I was just like, this doesn't even work. So I just went back
Sorry.
to dryer sheets, but I use only one dryer sheet though. I don't, and this like sometimes too, like if it's small, I'll just tear it in half. So I don't like use a whole bunch of dryer sheets. I just use one. If it's like bedding though, I'll use maybe two, but that's it. So I try not to do too much, but and then we use it like the sheets after they're done, we use it as fire starter because it's really good at that. So we
It's
kind of
really
try
good
to,
at burning.
yeah, it's really good at burning. Yeah, and then I really like scrubber bubbles in the like for the bathtub and for the sinks in the bathroom. And I like seventh generation sprays too, like for the dining area. And I super love what is it? The lemon scented like wood polish. What's that wood polish called? It's like a popular one that everyone uses, but I always buy that. I forgot what it's called, but I use that like on all the wood.
Pledge?
Yeah, Pledge, the lemon scented one. So good. And then that one's good for dusting. And then I use microfiber cloths on everything. I have three different kinds of scrubbers. I have one of those metal ones that are all like a metal ball, and I use that like on the stove. And then I have what are they called? The scrubber daddies. Have you seen those scrubber daddies, scrubber mommies? I buy those, and then they also have the rectangular ones. I buy those. So I use them for different things. And I like to get it like really clean, get grease off and stuff. Yeah. So, and then Michael uses simple green on everything. I'm like, dude, he's
That's
all,
what
this is
my
good for
mom
that.
did too. She's like
I know. And I'm
everything,
like,
everything in simple green. I'm like, okay.
I know my mom, she used to make her own cleaning products with like vinegar and like baking soda and like I don't know, she's like a scientist. She'll be like making stuff and it was always really good. She's always like the best thing to clean your windows is with vinegar. And I'm like, ew, it stinks, but it does. It's like really nice.
You
It
have to
does
be
a good
careful of
job.
like mixing chemicals, especially like don't
Mhm.
mix your cleaning chemicals with
Yeah.
anything else. Cause
Yeah. I mean, vinegar and water is fine,
no, I
but
mean like if you have like bleach and then like peroxide or something else with like ammonia, like
mhm.
you have to be really careful of not mixing your different cleaning supply chemicals, you know.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
mix two
like
different bottles because you don't know exactly what the chemicals are in there and they might have like a really bad reaction.
yeah, it might turn into acid or something. Like
Yeah, or a poisonous
or,
gas.
or blow up. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, people,
Don't mix your chemicals.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and I
don't
think one last tip, I guess, is just like go one section by section. Like with
mhm,
like us when we try to declutter, we do the toys and then clothes and then like dishes of like, we're not doing everything all at once. We're just going little
mhm.
spot by little spot for decluttering.
Yeah. I think the best tip I can pass on is teach your kids and your nephews and nieces how to clean from an early age. Like once they can walk and hold a rag, let them help you and do this stuff that's like kid friendly. But if you teach your kids how to clean, that's going to take a lot of weight off your shoulders and you're not stuck doing all the cleaning. That's what I've done. That's what I think that's why all my aunts and my mom they taught us how to do it so that they could hand it off to us. And like my mom used to always say, she used to ask for a dishwasher. She'd ask my dad, "Can you get me a dishwasher?" And he's like, "We already have three. It's me and my sisters." I'm like, that's horrible. But yeah, like if you teach your kids how to clean early, then like show them how to do it and make sure it's age appropriate. It's just going to make your life so much easier. Like my kids are at the age now where they can do all the stuff I don't want to do. And I love it. And they do it to my liking too. So, because I took the time to teach them. So it allows me to do what I'm good at, which is, work and bring in the money, and be a good mom and do all the things that I love too, so that I'm happy and balanced. And because cleaning doesn't give me joy, eh?
No, it doesn't. What's that one that's like if you like take it and if you hold it and if it doesn't spark joy, get rid of it.
Yeah.
All the cleaning supplies. No.
Oh, another thing too that I think makes cleaning a little more enjoyable is if you buy products that you actually like to use. Like I really like to buy Miss Meyer's New Day and it's a little more expensive, but it smells so good. And you can pair everything. You can pair the dish soap, you can pair it with the kitchen cleaner, the surface cleaner, you can pair it with the hand soap. And it just makes your house smell so good where there aren't clashing scents. And it's also gentle. And so I think like sometimes just invest in, you don't have to do it all the time, but maybe 1 month you only buy these, fancy, delicious smelling products that come in little bottles, but you do it for yourself. You don't do it for the practicality of it. You do it for yourself. So it makes the task that less agonizing. And
Mhm.
like before I stopped drinking, I used to only clean with a glass of wine because I hated it. And I would do laundry with a glass of wine and I would watch movies and I would do all the washing and the folding and the putting away. And it made it manageable. And now I don't have that. Like I don't drink anymore. So it does suck. But now I have the kids do it. So it all worked out.
So Adrian's tip, drink until your kids can do it.
Love
Just
that.
kidding.
No, the tip is to find ways to make it enjoyable. Why? Because you can.
All right,
So,
everyone. This has been Navajo Tea Time. We'll see you again next month. Don't forget the videos are going to be twice a month now, so they're a little bit less, but hopefully the topics will be a lot more interesting. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave your comments about any cleaning tips you guys have, and then also any ideas for future episodes or topics.
yep, we're here for it.
Okay,
Happy spring cleaning, everyone.
bye.
Bye.
She just smashed it into his face. Yeah.
Not a very Navajo friendly. It's like a weird label you're putting on yourself.
They protect us, they guide us. You know, and my father, he worked in law enforcement, so he was.
You witnessed police pulling over cars.
If you got to slap a senator, you slap a senator. Incorporating language and cultural aspects into. Who's your celebrity crush?
Pass.
It's that point where you're just like, what am I doing?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this seriously. Do I answer like I don't know, or do I answer because I'm reading the answers?
Don't look at the answers.